Got it.
All right, so three, two, one. Hello, everybody. I'm the Master Will 3, and today I am joined by the DBR of Buddy Fight Ace of Spades.
Hello.
Hello. So today we are talking about the buddy calling mechanic in Buddy Fight, how to fix it, how to make it, actually relevant. Because let's face it, the buddy
One life isn't that good anymore.
One life was never good. From the beginning of the game, it's like, oh, you got a life. Congratulations. It doesn't matter. Because Hara Hara gets you plenty more.
Or, oh,
Oh, we're not talking about Hara Hara today. Not this time.
well,
So,
maybe a little.
okay, yeah, probably. But so let's just hop right into this, all right? So, what do you think should be the first thing you would change about the buddy call mechanic,
Yeah. So the first thing I would do is I'd give buddy calling an overturn like thing. So when you buddy call, each buddy. Well, hold on. Let me back up a little. So every card would have their normal ability, but then they'd have a separate ability, which is their buddy ability. It only activates whenever they're buddy called, and every card that can be a buddy would have one, and it have overturn like beefiness. So, like for example, this is an easy example because I play Sun Dragons, but let's say my overturn Bal Dragon, uh, his buddy ability is when you buddy call this card, you can search your deck for a impact monster and add it to hand.
That would actually be pretty good. As a once per game thing, too. The thing
Yeah.
is, I wouldn't say every card should have it. Like every monster should have it. I think it should be specific cards. Like I play Folktale, so I think it should be Emma that has the buddy mechanic.
Yeah.
And like, of course, there can be like little different ones. But mainly keep it to some bigger cards. Because if you're putting it on every card, just text boxes are gonna get way too big, and there's just way too much to keep up with. And it kind of takes away from the buddy thing if every card can be your buddy.
Well, I mean, kind of have it to the point where everything can be your buddy. I
Oh
mean, a
yeah.
lot of people just put whatever's easiest to call in their buddy zone. So I think that if everything had like a buddy ability or a buddy call ability, whatever you want to call it, it'd be, you'd still have that flexibility, but you'd also have to like actually put more thought into it.
Yeah. It would change deck building to an extent.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really cool if we got an actual full on archetype that revolved around the buddy mechanic. So maybe like a Dragon World, since they love Dragon World for some godforsaken reason. Like when like every card has the buddy mechanic, but they also have the ability to change your buddy as long as you've already buddy called. You know?
Ooh.
Yeah, that would be kind of. I don't think it would even be that broken of an ability, especially in the current meta. Like when you buddy call this card, rest one of your opponent's cards, stuff like that. Like their normal effects are just buddy call effects. Of course, you'd still be getting the buddy gift for gaining the life. But life doesn't matter
Yeah.
apparently.
I mean, when you can just I actually built LVO with Hara Hara to test this out, and in one game, I got 200 life.
Yeah, it's a bit busted, right?
Yeah. So your Hara Hara rant is not unjustified.
Some people like to think it is. No, I had actual conversations with people at my locals this yesterday. The person who won was Link Dragon Order deck using Hara Hara. It was
Hmm.
I was so glad I didn't play that day. I played Vanguard. That was awful too. But Yeah, with how much life gain just doesn't matter, especially with dimensional life stream something. Can't remember off the top of my head.
The one that changes your opponent's life to 10 or
Yeah,
changes your life to 10.
yeah. Any life gain cards apparently are fine in this game. Hara Hara doesn't mean anything. You can because you can always go into Lost World, you know, because that's the only way to deal with that is to have Lost World, which that's
Mm-hmm.
fine. But I don't run Lost World.
Yeah, that's a different conversation.
Yeah, yeah. But there's
Back on topic.
yeah, there's a lot of very neat things you can do with the buddy mechanic. And considering it's the name of the game, future card buddy fight, there should be more of an emphasis on who your buddy is. I was running fucking 7 dwarves as my buddy for Folktale for a little while. And now it's Snow White because I just don't want to go get that Buddy or Emma yet. like
Yeah.
like the fact that the main gimmick of your game doesn't really do anything to the game is kind of dumb. I mean, yeah, we had the Grados.
Gem
Yeah, we had Gemcone. I know Grados had stuff going on, the Deeps or whatever. And there was a little bit of it in Sun Dragons, but it doesn't matter.
I mean, in Sun Dragons, our biggest thing is we have an item that has infinite power when you buddy call.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything, really. Like, yeah, you can get over that fucking flag for chaos. You can get over anything, but
Yeah, basically anything you want to get over. Okay, I flick it.
yeah, but it's like, oh well, what about having an actual good effect? Like, yeah, that's a fine effect. That's fine, but I mean, it's like a good. No one runs that card. That's the thing.
I run that card.
I'm so sorry. Why aren't you running Dragon Force?
No, I do run Dragon Force.
Oh, okay.
But I like while I'm stalling because my opponent or my deck is a little weird. It's a little bit of a toolbox and a little bit of a stall.
Ow.
So it does a little bit of both. So like while I'm stalling my opponent and because I the game, so even though I'm playing a deck that's like, hey, this is really PK, I'm just like, I decided not all because I actually like interacting.
You should play Folktale if you like interacting, but no one's gonna like interacting with you.
Exactly.
Oh, it's so much fun to do that too. But oh, hello, Mike. I just hit you. Sorry. The buddy mechanic is just an underutilized thing that really I was hoping they would bring it more, in depth in the new series. Because, Garga can be played in any deck. He would be perfect for this mechanic. Give him the first buddy mechanic where, he does an effect. Maybe he copies an effect of another monster on your field. That'd be neat.
Ooh. Yeah, that would. So, one thing I want to bring up, and part of this is my hype about Bakugan being officially back December 1st.
Oh, do we actually get a confirmation date on that?
Oh, we got confirmation on that now.
Oh.
But anyway.
Bye, buddy fight.
No, I'm going to do both. But anyway, so Bakugan does Buddy Fight gimmick better than Buddy Fight does. There's a little bit because, Bakugan is not there is Bakugan mechanic, I'm going to say, in Bakugan, which I could be horribly wrong, but there isn't a mechanic called Bakugan that I know of that the game revolves around. And so, so basically, a lot of your Gold Gate cards in Bakugan, they relate to a character ball that you have. If you have a Dragonoid, you have the Dragonoid Gold Gate card, you can, you put a Dragonoid on that Dragonoid Gate card and you double its power or the power card. So, yeah. I mean, when Bakugan rewards you more for, I'm going to say, buddy fights than Buddy Fight does, that's a bit of an issue in your game design.
Yeah, because Bakugan isn't focused necessarily on, like, you know, your partner Bakugan or whatever. It's focused on just
Playing the game.
Playing marbles, pretty much.
Yeah, playing marbles that kill each other.
But when buddy fight, you know, it's all about having your buddy. When the main villain is angry because he doesn't have a buddy, that should mean that the buddy mechanic should matter. But when I play my Folktale deck, I forget to buddy call because it's such a dumb mechanic, and it's like, oh right, I forgot I had one.
Oh yeah, no, I've even noticed that at like my lunch table matches with, you know, just like Saga and Feed and all the other people I hang out with on a normal basis. So, like, we just forget to buddy call and be like, oh yeah, I buddy called, tap it, and gain life. Which, while we know that wouldn't be allowed in a tournament setting, we don't care because it doesn't affect the game.
Yeah, it's like, oh, 1 life. Wow, that's going to make a huge difference. In fairness, for Folktale, it kind of does because you're spending life all the time. But every other deck really doesn't need that 1 life unless it's really going to save your ass. It does not mean anything.
Yeah, like, I mean, especially in decks with a life break condition.
Yeah.
You know, like Thunder Empire and anything with Dragon Force.
Yeah, pretty much. Because really, sometimes that stuff messes you up because you need to be below a threshold or something, you know? But that life gain. Yeah. Another thing they should do is actually, if you have your buddy on the field, not just like, oh, I have Emma on the field. No, I'm talking about the actual one that was buddy called. You know, the specific buddy called monster. That should have an effect on the game state because it shouldn't be I buddy call and then I'm just going to drop my buddy, you know? Because it's meant to be your buddy, your friend, you know, and you just feel like it doesn't matter because you have 3 other copies of it in the deck.
Yeah, basically. I mean, you know, again, I hate to keep bringing up Bakugan mostly. I mean, even though I'm really hyped about it, I hate to keep bringing it up in a Bakugan video, but like, you are more incentivized to, you know, to proper your partner Bakugan in Bakugan than you are to use your buddy in Buddy Fight, which that's a problem because I should be more worried about, you know, some acts that the game itself says is inconsequential, whereas, you know, I shouldn't be more worried about that 1 marble than I should be worried about my buddy monster on the field.
My buddy rare should mean something.
Yeah, exactly. Or, you know, even if your buddy monster isn't printed in a buddy rare, you know, it should still mean something. It shouldn't just be fodder in your deck.
Yeah. Because, like I said, you can just run 7 dwarves as your buddy in Folktale. And you know what I do when I do that? I summon him, I grab the item, and I let him die. Because it's not my buddy. It doesn't matter. It's just a piece of cardboard. I have no connection to 7 dwarves, you know? And that's something they should be encouraging in this game, because a player's connection to their cards is really important, alright? Magic, everyone's got their favorite cards. There's cards that they can look at and they just get nostalgia over. Vanguard did it really well, you know, with the whole your Vanguard mechanic. You know, you pick a unit and it kind of represents you. And it's just like in Buddy Fight, it's meant to be your friend, but if it dies, you don't care. You have no incentive to keep it on the field unless it's your win condition.
Yeah, I mean, and like, you know, with the whole grab your buddy and then drop it thing, I have not found a game where that is more true than in Buddy Fight, because, you know, the game actively, like, even though, like, they advertised, hey, see these characters we're marketing in our show, you should make those your buddy. And, then, well, people are just like, screw that. Why should my buddy be Gargantua Dragon when I can call Garcat easier
Yeah.
and then, get even more pluses off of it?
Exactly.
Why should it be when I can make Hara Hara my buddy and, get even more life from summoning him?
See, I think the first step Buddy Fight should make towards fixing this mechanic is actually a very simple one. All right, get rid of the limit to buddy calls. You can buddy call as many times as you want. Every time you summon this card, it's a buddy call. You know, it doesn't change that much really, because aside from mummies and shadow dragons, it's like you still only have 4 copies. You know?
Yeah. So my thing with that is, I'm all good with buddy calling, more than once per game, but I think it should at least have a once per turn because,
Yeah, probably.
because as you yourself said, Shadow Dragon, mummies, and other decks where you can play as many copies of a card as you want will abuse the heck out of that.
Well, in theory, the buddy call mechanic is a named ability, which named abilities only happen once per turn, so it's just a world ability technically.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all they have to change. It's a constant effect that you can buddy call once per turn. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Just change it. Just change it from once per game to once per turn, and you're fine. It's fine.
Right. I mean, I'd be much more incentivized to. I mean, the reason I still play Sun Dragons and hold on, I'm never going to get rid of that deck, ever, under any circle. Like, I'm going to buy other decks soon enough, but, like, I like the character of Bao, and,
that's fine. They wanted you people to like Ball. That was his whole thing.
Right, people wanted me to like him, and I just did. But, like, I don't see other people having, like, that emotional attachment. Like, I don't see other players saying, Flare Fang is my buddy because in the show, his personality really reminds me of my late uncle, and
Yeah.
I really... Like, we don't get that with most people. Which
we just don't have the emotional attachment to these buddy monsters that we're supposed to be, friends with, and they're supposed to be fighting with us,
Right.
And it's something that they really need to address. Like, yes, keep working on the game, keep upgrading, but, like, maybe next season, kind of throw this in, Give us, instead of adding a new world... Please stop doing that. Just add this mechanic in, kind of do another buddy lineage set where it's just bringing old favorites back. Give us like original looking drum, but give him the buddy mechanic. Like when he gets buddy called, certain effect goes off. Just
right.
Just support your game better.
Yeah, so if you don't mind, I'd like to take, before we end the video and just, start naming buddies that are iconic and give them potential buddy abilities.
Yeah. I mean, they're already there, really. The overturn mechanic could pretty much just be turned into the buddy calling mechanic,
Right.
Hell, yeah, that would be cool at leaving it as a once per game thing if it mattered,
Mm-hmm.
But that one life is not going to change much.
Right.
I mean, I'm trying to think if there would be any big downsides. Like the buddy call mechanic wouldn't have to be even that broken. It could be decently fair or something,
Right. I mean, I'm not... Yeah. I'm not game ending so broken.
Yeah.
I'm just, you know, give us. Okay, like let's use your drum example here for a minute. Like, we get, you know, a drum that looks similar to classic drum, is upgraded to fit him, and you know, he has the simple buddy ability of, when I'm buddy called, you know, just add a shield from drop to hand.
Or even, you know, when I'm buddy called, another armor dragon on my field gets penetrate. You know, it doesn't have to be anything big, because penetrate was like Drum's big thing. He has a big drill, so why wouldn't, you know, it could fit that.
You know? Yeah, exactly.
But I do like the idea of getting cards back to hand, because it's a buddy gift. They're gifting you something, so it should give you a benefit of some kind. Whether,
right.
Maybe even just if you buddy call, you get to draw a card.
Right, like, even if they just decided to change when you buddy call, you get a life, to when you buddy call, you draw a card.
That would help.
That would be hugely beneficial. Like, even older decks could start being more relevant again.
Yeah, because the problem is, nowadays, card decks just draw through their entire deck. Just every single turn. Oh, like, look at Chaos. They go through 3/4 of their deck every turn.
Mm-hmm.
So giving the draw mechanic shouldn't matter, because they don't care anyway. I mean, I play freaking Folktales, as I've been saying. I keep drawing so many cards, I nearly deck out before I win a game. Mostly because I'm an idiot.
No, I mean, here's the thing. Even smart players, like I said, my deck is a little bit of toolbox and a little bit of stall, but, like, here's the thing. Even in that deck, which I explicitly made with the, you know, it is with the intent of interacting with other players. Like, this is what I want from the deck.
Yeah.
Like, I have fun playing it. I want it to interact. And so, but I built the deck in such a way that I always have the resources I need. I've never had, not never. I've only had one situation where my hand cards have dropped below 4.
And that's the thing, though, about card games. They're all random. So, I mean, drawing is actually supposed to mean something in certain games. Like Vanguard, having cards in your hand is huge. Magic, having cards in your hand is huge. Pokemon, having cards in your hand means nothing. Buddy Fight is in this weird in-between where it could change the entire game just to have one card in hand, or it can mean absolutely nothing. You know? Because I've been looking at some decks. There's some decks that aren't running, like, more than 4 shields, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the strangest thing, because it's like, that just gives your opponent more ability to relax, because suddenly you're looking at your opponent and going, well, he doesn't have shields, so I can just hit him.
Well, one thing, this is going to get into a sub-rant.
Oh, again. God. We're already at 20 minutes, so we probably shouldn't do that. Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep it short then.
Gotcha.
Nobody's running shields anymore anyway, because nothing can be nullified anymore anyway.
Oh my gosh, yes. Like, it's like everything is an Excalibur now.
Right. So, you know, when you take the player's one lifeline away, it's a bit of an issue. Will, would you actually be up to do like a second video about that?
Yeah, I've got no problem with that. Could do a whole podcast on that shit.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. So, I'm with Buddy gift change.
Yeah, that was the topic of this video, might we add. Buddy Mechanic. We got a little distracted, but it all was to kind of support our argument that the Buddy Mechanic needs to change. It's just the most important mechanic for the game, but it's not important. It's meant to be the most important. It's meant to be what you're marketing, you're throwing out. By the way, your buddy means something. You have a buddy monster. He's so special to your deck, but he doesn't mean shit. It's just like nothing.
So with that,
Yeah.
may I do the outro?
Feel free.
Got it. This has been Master Will and the DBR. Like Master Will, like and subscribe to him. Do all those other YouTubey things over at Ace of Spades, and we will see you in another video.
Boy.